This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Well, it's an honor to come down from Canada. You heard today how it's minus 50 up there, so it's nice to be down here where it's warm. When I heard that, I thought it was quite fascinating. When it's minus 50 and we feed cows, our cows are, whenever somebody comes over from Europe, they're always fascinated that our cows are outdoor. I'm sure you guys find the same thing there, that we don't build a big barn to haul them all in. And when it's minus 50, it's amazing how insulated those cows are. They'll eat more feed for sure. But when it's minus 50 outside, it's still about 39 degrees Celsius inside that room where these microbes are living and carrying out the digestion of the feed, providing the supply of the energy and the protein that the cow needs. So I just want to thank you for the Producer Choice Award. I've always wanted to give the same presentation over 4 times in a row. So it gives me a good opportunity to do that. So, the microbes community, microbes in general are a fascinating group of critters when you think about it. They occupy all areas of the world, basically, even down in the deep oceans. I was really interested when they first discovered those deep sea vents in the communities that live down there where bacteria are surviving, at 110 degrees, basically in boiling water, at pressures that are 3,000 times higher than what you've got in your car tire. And they form these communities, and they do quite nicely. And then we learned about how we've all got bacteria associated with us, the so-called human microbiome, with 10 times more bacterial cells on our bodies than there are cells in our bodies ourselves. And then we always hear about the bacteria in our food, too, and how we need to cook our food to prevent the bad bacteria from causing problems. But all food has bacteria on it at once, and there's bacteria all around us. But one of the most fascinating communities, and the one I've spent the last 25 years studying, is that population within the rumen. It's amongst the most microbial dense ecosystem of anywhere on the planet in terms of the number of bacteria that are present. There's over 100 billion bacteria in every ml of rumen fluid inside that animal. And those bacteria are all carrying out the digestion of the feed that we provide that cow on a daily basis. Now when we do these studies, it's all been mostly research that I've been involved in, although I've been on the ranching side of things too a bit for a while. But we use this fish-laid animals, the so-called window on the side, that enables us to gain access directly into that rumen environment. And that's really enabled us to study it in a great deal of depth. All those studies you see about the human microbiome, for the most part, like 99% of those studies are bacteria that are falling out of people, not bacteria that reside in people, right? Because it's mostly work done with human feces. In our case, we're going right in and we're sampling directly from that digestive tract itself. And so in graduate students, I have spent a lot of time like this with their hand in that environment. And I often thought, well, it's a good thing that none of my students ever fall inside that hole, because I'm pretty sure if they did, they would probably end up, those bugs would eat the shirt right off their back. And I thought, well, maybe I'll do an experiment. Being a scientist, I wanted to do an experiment to just test that theory. And so what I did is I went down to our local thrift store, and I bought 2 shirts. And this is some sort of anniversary thing, so they were really cheap, about $1 a piece. So I bought 2 shirts. This is the one that I didn't incubate in 24 hours. And this is what the one looked like that I did incubate in the room for 24 hours. So these shirts are made out of cotton. If I had used polyester, I wouldn't have had the same effect. But you can see how the bugs have basically colonized that fiber, and they're utilizing that fiber as energy to produce the volatile fatty acids. So theoretically, you could even feed shirts to cows, and they would digest those shirts, and the microbes stuff would provide energy to the cow.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.